Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today I want to take some time and answer some questions from my finance community, and we're going to do a little stimulus update. So from a finance community that I have aside from YouTube, one of the questions has been, are we getting another stimulus check? Is it real? What's going on with it? What are the details? So I thought I'd make a little video about it, and here you go. Now, right now, the stimulus proposal for the next wave of stimulus checks, deposits, whatever you want to call it, they are right now in the middle of the process. So what we have now is the HEROES Act, and the HEROES Act has actually been passed by the House. Now, the House is actually comprised of mostly Democrats. And so if you know anything about, the money that's been given out, or if you've seen the headlines, you see it's a $3 trillion tag on it. So of course it will probably pass the House, but next up it is to pass the Senate. And the Senate don't meet until like the next week or so. Now, the HEROES Act is actually an acronym, and it stands for Health Economic Recovery Omnibus Emergency Solutions. Yep, sounds like a whole lot to say. Now, with this particular bill and proposal, the act, it's actually like 1,815 pages to be exact long. And no, I did not read through all of that, but I was able to pull out the highlights or things that would kind of be most important to, most people. So the elephant in the room is, will I get another $1,200 check? And so, like I said, this is actually proposed. It's passed by one House, but the Senate, which is comprised of mostly Republicans, they more than likely may not necessarily pass the bill as is. They've already shot down the bill that was the $2,000 a month, if you guys remember that, where you get the $2,000 a month and mortgage free for 12 months, and you get the rent for 12 months for free. Those things have kind of already been shot down. But as far as the stimulus checks with this proposal, you have $1,200 just like it was before, but this is the change. So before, you would get $500 per child, but now you're going to get $1,200 per child, or at least potentially get $1,200 per child. So the amount that you could get if you have 2 adults and 3 kids, or even 4 kids, it's going to cap out at $6,000. So as before, the stimulus bill before this, the CARES Act, it was $1,200, and then you will also get $500 per child. So that's a $700 difference per child or per dependent. Now, unlike the last stimulus bill where there were so many issues with college teens and dependents that were adults and things like that, now they've actually got in this clause to where it doesn't matter your age, all dependents will be counted. So that's a nice fix that they seem to have messed up last time. I don't even know why. So last time, if you were like 17, you kind of got unaccounted for, or if you were like a college student, kind of unaccounted for. So they've made revisions in this one so that would not happen again. Now, just like before, if you make over $75,000 a year, you will not get the entire $1,200 if you're a single person, and if you made over $150,000 as a couple, you will not get the whole entire check. So the people who will absolutely not get a check would be just like last time if you make over $99,000 a year as a person, and if you make over $198,000 a year as a couple. Yes, I know, if you're making that type of money, then you should be taking care of your money. Well, you're supposed to be taking care of your money anyway, no matter how much you make. The next clause in this bill is to the unemployment, where you get the $600 additional on top of your state unemployment. So right now, the state unemployment, that boost, that enhancement of $600 extra ends at the end of July 2020. This would extend it until the end of the year, to January 2021, which, there's a lot of mixed reviews about that, because some people don't like the fact that people who are unemployed are making more money than they did when they were employed, whatever the case is. But this is something that they're working on right now. And given with the level of uncertainty of exactly what's going on, because, with this whole reopening and all these different things, and the economy needing to be stimulated. So we don't know how long we're going to be in this particular posture right now of just having stay-at-home orders and having to be very cautious about everything that we do. Now, the next thing is the student loans, which a lot of people are excited about. And what it would do is it would actually give up to $10,000 for federal student loans and up to $10,000 towards private student loans. So what this would do is we'll also suspend the interest and the payments up till September 2021. Right now, the payments and the interest is suspended for most loans up until September 2020. So this would kind of give it an extra year. Now, the catch with this is you have to be what they call economically distressed. So basically, as of March 12th, before there was like some national declaration of this being a national emergency, you would have to have been delinquent or some type of forbearance, or kind of having like an income driven payment, which is the value of about $0. And that's how you would be considered to get the forgiveness. So basically, in a nutshell, if you haven't had any problems paying your monthly bill for your student loans, then you probably won't be able to get this forgiveness. But they're more concerned about this bill getting big and it looming and getting out of control. Really, you could just print as much money as you want, whatever. So also within this bill is rental and mortgage assistance. So there's $100 billion for rental assistance, and then there's $75 billion for mortgage assistance. Now with this, yes, you would have to verify that you are in some type of distress and that you need help with your payments. They're not just going to give it to everyone, which I think that's cool, because I think that's something compared to us not having anything. So this is better than something. It's not the 12 months rent-free, mortgage-free for everyone, but for those that really are struggling and can't make their mortgage payments or their rental payments, there's some assistance there. Now that number, 75 billion, 100 billion, is that necessarily enough for both areas? Not sure, but it might be something where it kind of comes on a first come first served basis, and when the money runs out, that's it. Now, one of the things I love within this bill is the one that is for essential workers that they call the Heroes Fund. So basically, it's a hazard pay for those that have been working on the front line since this pandemic started. So essentially what it would do is it would give them like an extra $13 an hour, which it would go all the way back to since they were working, and cover all hours from the time that the pandemic started all the way through the end of the year. And we give them additional $13 an hour. Now, of course, with this, there's a clause, there's a catch, is a cap. So if you make $200,000 and less, then you can get up to $25,000. That's the cap. Now, if you make over $200,000 a year, then you will get up to $5,000. Now, this is probably one of the most exciting things in the fund for me, because you have so many people that have been working on the front lines, and some of them have not gotten any overtime pay. It's just they've just been working through this with the fear of bringing home some type of illness to their family. To which I'm particularly excited about that for people that work in places like the grocery stores and the warehouses and things like that, because typically they're underpaid anyway. So you can feel however you want to feel about people getting, a certain amount per hour or whatever, but right now, those are the people that we are depending on the most, and they deserve to get some type of extra pay because they have been working through this thing and kind of keeping us afloat, making sure we have the things we need, etc. So this would really be good, and I hope they don't change this part and allow those that are essential workers to get that extra pay. You gotta understand, like for someone that is an essential worker, that the pressure that they have on their mind right now during this pandemic of an illness, where you have people and nurses and people who work around it or that are working within these stores that have contracted, the illness, that is based off of the fact that they're just trying to work and serve, to help others, whether they want to be at work or not, they're there. And so this definitely would be a good, bonus for those that have been working on the front lines, putting a lot of hours. And so I'm definitely excited about this. Now, something else that I thought was pretty cool that's within this bill that you might not have heard much of, it has some things for immigration. This would call for immigrants who are working on the front lines to typically be protected from deportation, because as you know, with some of the things that we have going on right now, you have people who are immigrants who are working in some of these areas. A lot of people don't want to work, so this would protect them from being deported and just add some protection around them. To which also those that are immigrants that are being detained right now, which is up to about 30,000, it's about 30,000 people or so, they will actually be reviewed and released. So if there's no risk, this bill is called asking for them to be released during this time so they can be with their families. And for any immigrants that do not have any health care, they will be able to get free testing, free vaccines, and free treatment. So I think that's pretty good. So however you want to feel about an immigrant, it's whatever, but those are people. And so they deserve to be treated just as fair. So within this HEROES Act, it will kind of add some protection around the immigrants that are within our country right now. Now, some of the things that you're probably not even interested in at all, they do have some other things in there, like it'll be $1 trillion to go to state and local governments, which would be great. And then maybe they wouldn't be trying to rush everybody back out into the economy, not knowing if it's safe or not. There's $50 billion for the farmers, so the farmers can have some support. So there's $75 billion towards testing as well as contact tracing. So let's say, for example, you contracted the virus, and then what happens is they want to make sure they can kind of trace everyone that you were, in contact with to try to make sure that they're, positive or negative, make sure that they can kind of keep a watch on things. So it'll be $75 billion invested into that. You have another $2.5 billion that is going to our U.S. Postal Services that have been working consistently through all this. Y'all know y'all been online ordering stuff, and so the U.S. Postal Service has had to deliver many of your packages. And this is an election year, so it'd be $3.6 billion that they would give towards, preparation for the election, to kind of put some provisions around that so that I guess the election can still happen. So those are some of the updates and things that are going on within this current bill that is looking to be passed, that will more than likely have some revisions for it, because, giving people a whole lot of money, it's always a gray area with the government. You have one side that's concerned about the people, I guess, and then you have the other side that's kind of concerned about business. I don't know. But more than likely, what we're going to see is some revisions probably happen to this. If no revisions happen to this and it is passed by the Senate, I would be totally shocked. But it would be a great thing, because then that money that's going out to people and things like that, be able to help people get through this time, and for some people to be able to help them kind of come out of the situation at a higher level. So there's not too much going on right now, just waiting for the Senate to meet and to vote, and that's probably going to be exciting, because this bill barely passed. It was like, I think 208 votes to like 199, so it just barely passed. Okay guys, I am not your daily stimulus update guy, but I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I hope this answers some questions about what's on the table right now, and I will talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.